morning everyone, and welcome to another vlog. I hope you all had a really lovely weekend. We had a really nice weekend. Saturday had an amazing birthday. Zachary had an amazing birthday party on Saturday. The bouncy castle was a hit. There were a few little other kiddies there, and it was just a really nice fun time. Yesterday was pretty chilled. Today is Monday, and I am just getting little madam dressed for the day. I ended up changing my black top into a cream top. I just didn't feel like the black one looked as nice. But I do love these trousers though. I actually bought these a few months ago. This is the first time I'm wearing them. I do like a cargo trouser. But anyway, the reason I'm getting little madam dressed so bright and early, we have just dropped the boys off at school, is because we have a very special appointment this morning. We have an appointment to go and tour a nursery. I will sit down and just give you a little bit more information and talk about my thoughts a little bit later on today. But yeah, we're going to go and tour a nursery, and it is close by. It's within walking distance, which was really important to us. And I've had Avery's team, her portage worker in particular, helping me find a nursery to go and look at that is accessible basically, and that I won't have trouble with, and Avery won't have trouble with, in terms of getting her wheelchair in and out, and you know, being able to move her equipment in and out and things like that. But yeah, so that is at 10, but I do need to do a few bits in town first. I've got to pop to the bank and I have to go to the post office, so I need to leave pretty soon, so that I can get there and then get up to the nursery. Luckily, once I'm down the hill, both town and nursery are at the bottom of the hill. When you get to the bottom of my road is a massive hill basically. When you get to the bottom of my road, there's then another hill that's kind of, is that perpendicular? Is that the right word I'm using? But anyway, once you get there to the bottom of the hill, you turn left and you go down the hill towards town, or you turn right and you go up the hill, and I think that is where the nursery is. I hope so. Anyway, I do need to put it in on my map to make sure I don't get lost. But yeah, that is the plan for this morning. I'm feeling good and I'm feeling nervous. I'm not gonna lie, mixed feelings, but like I said, I will talk a little bit more about that a little bit later on in this video. So we have gone for a gorgeous little vest and short set from Shein today, and then the little cardigan, which still has a label on it. This is from F&F at Tesco. It's going to be quite warm today, but it is still a little bit chilly at the moment, so I thought shorts and then a cardigan over the top would be best. Also, I'm absolutely in love with the way I've done her hair. I did her hair last night. I just put it in two little French plaits and then kind of crossed them over, and then sort of tied the hairband around one of them to keep them in place, in the hopes that it would stay in this morning, and it has. And then I have literally just popped the back into a little plait just so that all doesn't get matted and messy, but I think she looks so beautiful. And then she's got two little gorgeous clips. Josh actually picked these up when we went to see the Christmas lights. It was at a little market stall, and I think she looks so beautiful. You always look beautiful, but you look exceptionally beautiful today, Missy Moo. Don't you? So we need to leave in about 10 minutes, don't we, hey? Actually, you know, it's looking quite cloudy. I really hope it doesn't rain. I might just take an umbrella just in case. We are back from the nursery. The noise is the microwave. I am just making myself an early lunch so that I can eat while I sit and feed Avery, because she is due a feed in a minute. I had some leftover bolognese in the freezer, and then I'm just going to use the last of the pasta dish that I made for Zach's party on Saturday. It was really good actually. It was like, I used pasta and then I put some olives and sun-dried tomatoes in it, and then mixed in some olive oil, salt, pepper, garlic and a little bit of balsamic vinegar. And yeah, it was really, really nice. So I am just going to finish heating up my food. Start feeding Avery and eat while I do that, and then we will have a catch up about how the nursery visit went. I have just finished my lunch. I also managed to get bolognese on Avery's blanket as well. So sorry Avery, Mummy's gonna have to wash that. So yeah, nursery visit went really, really well. And I think I just wanted to sit and give you a little bit of backstory really, because I don't really talk about nursery or the concept of nursery or plans of nursery much here on my channel, and that is simply because we're not quite there yet. But so we started applying for Avery's EHCP back in November last year. If you're not from the UK, an EHCP is an educational healthcare plan. It's a plan that kind of sticks to your child basically throughout education, and it is their kind of plan and guide for anyone who's working with them on their needs and kind of their learning goals, their targets, things like that. And it kind of changes as they do. Normally an EHCP is supposed to take 20 weeks to complete. However, there is a bit of a backlog at the moment. I would imagine that COVID is the excuse for that as well. Anyway, Avery's has taken a little bit longer than we anticipated, but that is fine. I am in no rush. But now is the time to start looking at nurseries. By nurseries, I mean nursery. We've only looked at one, and this is because we are limited. Because it needs to be in walking distance. Now the nursery that I went to look at, I could probably try and drive it, because Avery would only be doing one way. It's not that far in the car, maybe 5 minutes, and the parking isn't too bad around there, so I wouldn't be spending ages looking for somewhere to park. But if Avery, for example, has a cough like she's got now, or she's having a bad day, or for any other reason why I don't feel like it's safe to travel with her in the car, it needs to be in walking distance. So that's the first kind of limit. The second limit is that the building itself needed to be accessible, and the few others that we found that were within walking distance, oh dear, that were within walking distance, they were kind of in big Victorian style houses over a couple of floors. The rooms were all really small, not overly accessible, and just not ideal for Avery. So we went to look at the one today. Plan moving forward, well, first things first, the next step is Josh needs to come and see it too. So I've arranged with the head teacher there for Josh to come and see it next week after hours. Just so that he well, so that we have his stamp of approval as well, and he feels on board with it and okay with it and comfortable. And then after that, the plan would be for Avery to start settling in sessions in September. So September is the start of our school year. Avery will get 15 hours free. So because she has the HCP, because she gets DLA, and because she has, you know, complex needs, she will get 15 hours funded for her by the government, which means that I've got those 15 hours to play with then. That doesn't mean that I'm going to be putting her into nursery for 15 hours a week. At first, I think the plan is just to do settling in sessions, and those will be kind of stay and play type sessions, so I will be with her until I feel comfortable that whoever is going to be, you know, Avery's key worker is trained in all aspects of Avery, handling, tube feeding, epilepsy plan, meds, all those kind of things. Have you got the hiccups? And B, that Avery is familiar with the people that are going to be caring for her, and that she's happy there, basically. That will be the time when I bow out and actually leave her there. So not sure on you know, what days she'll be going, how long she'll be going for, anything like that. Come April next year, her funding will go up to 30 hours. But that's a ways off yet. I don't need to think about that. Some of you might ask, why nursery if I am at home with Avery all day? There are a few reasons, and I've had a lot of people say to me, I'm trying to get your cardigan off. I've had a lot of people say to me, oh, it will be nice to have a little bit of a break. Now, if a break was the only benefit that we would be getting out of a nursery setting, then I simply wouldn't do it. I don't feel like I need a break from Avery, and that is not why I am doing it at all. I remember when Zach was little, if you guys are new to my channel, my eldest son Zach, he's now 10, but he is autistic. I remember when he first started nursery, and this was before we even knew that he was autistic, but he had developmental delays and he was pre-verbal. So he was 2 when he started to go into nursery. He had his 15 hours funding as well. And he flourished in an educational setting. He did so well. I honestly feel like there's only so much a child can learn from an adult. I think sometimes barriers are broken in terms of learning and development when they're learning from other children. You know, because they're of similar age and similar developmental stages. Now, don't get me wrong, I know Avery is going to be nowhere near in the same developmental stage as a lot of the 2-year-olds that will be in her kind of class. But they're much closer to her development than I am. Not only that, Avery loves watching other children. So that is another reason. So the social aspect, really. And not only that, it gets her out of the house, it gets her into a new environment, it gets her doing activities that she wouldn't necessarily do at home. And it also means that I can pass a little bit, not much, but a little bit of the responsibility of Avery's therapy over to the nursery staff. So they will focus on some of her targets for some of her different therapies. So maybe portage targets or some physio targets. They will do some therapy-based activities with her as well, which means I can pull back slightly. It won't be much. I'd imagine it will be more so when she actually goes to school, but I can pull back slightly and actually just enjoy being mum and be able to kind of pull back a little bit on the therapist side. So those are my reasonings. And the nursery we went to visit, it looked really nice. It was all accessible. A lot of the staff already had experience with children with complex medical needs. I explained all of Avery's conditions. I explained the risks that come, you know, with doing certain things with Avery. They had like an outdoor area with lots of kind of like nature activities and stuff. It was really big, and the head teacher even had a dog that she brings to work now and again, and Avery absolutely loved it. It was so cute. They have a sensory room, which was really nice, and they have this kind of hammock. Yes, they have this hammock style swing that's literally hanging from one of the ceilings. She said it's all been like safety reg checked and everything. It's fine. It's actually there for one of the children that has additional needs there, but when he moves on to school, when he leaves nursery, that swing will be staying. So that is something that Avery will have access to. And they said that Avery will always be included in activities. It's never going to be a case of, well, Avery can't do this, so take her off to do something else. She will always be included in the activities that all the other children are doing. Even if she can only participate a little bit, she will be given the opportunity to participate. The only time Avery will ever be taken away from the group is if she's going to be doing therapies, or maybe she needs to be fed or whatnot. So I felt really happy with everything that was said. No decisions are being made until Josh sees it as well, so that will be next Wednesday, and then we go from there. We fill out the paperwork. I think they said that they can get some backup funding in place just in case the EHCP isn't ready for September. And then in September, the plan is to start doing some settling in sessions and some stay and play sessions. That is the plan. Avery will be going to nursery this year. And I'm in two minds. I feel really excited for Avery, and I feel really excited and curious to see how it affects her developmentally and her mood, and just to see if she comes along the same way Zach did around other children. I am terrified of leaving her, even though I know I'm literally 5 minutes away in the car, so if there was anything that she needed me for, it wouldn't take me long to get back there. It's just the thought of leaving Avery with somebody that isn't family, that isn't someone we know. But I'm hoping in some like stay and play sessions I will get to know the staff and learn to feel comfortable, and Avery will become familiar with them as well. So that is the plan. I have no plans in terms of my time when Avery is there yet. I think at the moment I just need to wait and see how she gets on and how many hours she ends up going for, because she could do 3 hours 5 days a week. She could do one day, a full day, which would be about 6 hours, and then, you know, do 2 days of 3 hours. She could just do, you know, a couple of days of 3 hours. I really don't know yet. It's all going to depend on Avery and how comfortable we all are. So I'm not kind of planning out my time for while Avery is going to be gone. All I know is that I will miss her, and for a very long time I will probably just be sat by the phone just in case anything happens. But they are all kind of equipped and educated on children with complex needs, and if there's an emergency, and you know, they'd be very quick. If they needed to get her to hospital, they would just get her to hospital. That would be the priority. For example, if she were to have a seizure and they had to administer a rescue med, they could very easily call an ambulance, and Avery could just be taken straight to hospital, which isn't far. So there's a lot of things I'm nervous about. I'd be lying if I didn't say I wasn't nervous about Avery's safety, just because I'm nervous about kind of relinquishing the responsibility of Avery's care and safety to anyone, including family. So I'd be lying if I wasn't worried about that. I do feel as though they're, you know, they're competent enough, they're capable. It's just kind of my inner feelings. I really hope Avery makes friends. I can imagine that a lot of the children might be quite curious about her. I mentioned in a video before, children have such a sweet, oblivious innocence when it comes to additional needs, and, you know, without really realising it, they just want to learn about it. They're just curious, and I think that's really, really sweet when you see that. Anyway, I am going to try and get this little lady down for a sleep. I could tell she was getting tired when we were looking around the nursery. She's done really well to actually stay awake, but I think it's time for her to have a little snooze now. So I'm going to put her to sleep, and yeah, that is about as far as I've got in terms of my plans for the day. we are back doing our little routine of getting bits and bobs done while Missy is in the stander. Pudding, come on, come on. Try and keep your head up, baby girl. So just getting the dishes done. Do you know, there's just no stopping her head going like that. I'm sure she forces it like that. She's kind of tired still, I think. What if we tilt you back just a little bit? There we go. Okay, she's tilted back a little bit now. Hopefully that should stop her flopping so much, but she is still bearing weight through her legs, even being a little bit tilted like that. So what are you doing? You can't eat it. Managed to get a couple of bits done this afternoon. I broke another nail, so I needed to fix that. I don't mind though, because I was gonna do like an infill of all my nails on Friday, because we have my brother-in-law's wedding to go to next Friday. So I was gonna just do it a week in advance, because I'm making the wedding cake next week, which means I'm gonna be a little bit pushed for time. Are you okay there, baby girl? I'm gonna be a little bit pushed for time to do it next week. So I'm not mad that they're kind of breaking one by one, because it's much quicker for me to just quickly fix one. It takes about 10 minutes than doing an entire hand. It's okay, baby girl. Or an entire 10 fingers, because that takes me ages. But now on Friday, I've got a lot less nails to fill, so I'm not really mad about it. So did a little bit of editing. I actually edited like a short reel that will kind of go up on Instagram, TikTok and YouTube. And it's kind of like an introduction to my YouTube channel, and I'm quite happy with it. I've just used little kind of clips from all different videos that I've taken over the last year or two. So I am quite pleased with how it's turned out. So that should be up on YouTube, Instagram and TikTok very soon. Like I said, just getting the dishes done now, and then I've got all of the washing to get in. Hoping it will be dry by now, because it has been quite warm out there today. Baby girl, what are you doing? I think this is the only downside to having Avery kind of do bits and bobs with me. I keep having to stop to kind of readjust her head, because she keeps kind of forcing it to the side, but she does tolerate the stander much more if, I guess, she's got things to watch, I suppose. She will tolerate it for a little bit being in front of the TV, but I just think it's nice having her kind of involved in what I'm doing. So once we've done these bits, it should be pretty much time to go and get the boys, and then Avery will be due a feed when we get back, and then I will be making our dinner. I've been trying to make some healthier meals, or healthier meal choices. I haven't actually cooked them yet, but I've tried to make healthier meal choices for the week. For this week, because both Josh and I are kind of feeling a little bit sluggish with all of the junk food. The thing is, and this is kind of what puts me off with, well, there's a few things actually that put me off. That put me off healthy kind of meal prepping and healthy cooking is A, Josh and I are polar opposites with what we like to eat. So I am very big on Italian food. I love my pasta, I love my pizza, and I love things with a lot of kind of Mediterranean flavour, whereas Josh is very much either very, very British food, or or he enjoys like fajitas or stir fry, and they're the kind of things that I don't like as much. So finding something in between that we both enjoy is actually really, really difficult. The other thing is, I find that healthy recipes, for them to be flavourful, you need a lot of ingredients, and a lot of the time you need to buy, you know, a whole jar or a whole bottle of something to use maybe a teaspoon, and it's a lot of money when you know you need to come up with 7 meals for the week. But I've tried my best this week. Tonight we are going to be having like teriyaki turkey mince rice bowls. I actually found that idea on Gemma Miles' YouTube channel. Can you tell I've been binge watching Gemma Louise Miles over the last week or two? I used to watch her videos all the time and then I just stopped for a while. I know exactly why I stopped, and it's the same reason I stopped watching a lot of YouTubers that I used to love. So it was all around the time that Avery was a baby, and what I found is that because a lot of the YouTubers I like to watch, oddly enough, are all around the same age as me, which is, you know, understandable because it's more relatable, isn't it? A lot of them were falling pregnant, and I mean, it's amazing, it really is, when, you know, people are trying for a baby and then they get blessed with one, it really is. But at that time, I was finding it so hard to be able to enjoy the content because of how sad I felt. And I really do feel as though that is a really good testament to how far I've come since then, because I'm watching all of my old favourite YouTubers and all of my old favourite videos, and despite that, it just doesn't upset me anymore. And I really feel like I've managed to kind of shift my mindset a little bit, in the sense that I feel a little bit more positive. What are you doing? Positive when it comes to Avery and her disabilities. I used to very much feel as though something was taken from us and that, you know, she was missing out. Whereas now I am really just trying to embrace Avery as she is, and all of her perfection and the abilities within her disabilities, basically. And I do feel like it really has been helping my mindset a lot. I am actually going to do a video. I might film it this week if I get the time. A bit of an update video really on where I'm at in terms of the goals that I set myself for 2023. Someone asked me to do a video like that a little while back, and I felt like it'd be a good idea to maybe get halfway through the year before I kind of revisit, because I set a lot of goals myself at the beginning of 2023. I did a whole video about it, I'll link it down below. Are you okay? And some of the goals I've smashed already. Some of them, you know, I am well on track to meeting them, reaching them before the end of the year, and some maybe not so much. So I thought it'd be good to give you a bit of an update on where I'm at. But yeah, for now I am just going to finish the dishes and keep pulling Avery's head back up to centre, and then I'm going to get the washing in, and then it'll be time to get the boys. Where are they put in?
Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, but I don't wanna jinx it, baby. Let's not get ahead of my time. Oh, but I don't wanna miss you, baby. So I stand up and speak just my mind. Oh. You're chilling when the rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're chilling when the rain. You're some kind of butterfly.
It is a bit later now. We've had dinner. We're all in our pyjamas now. Avery is having a feed. She's in her pea pod because while we were getting all her bits and bobs ready for bed, she was falling to sleep on the floor. And I thought, well, while I'm finishing up, let me put her in her pea pod. And that way, if she falls asleep in her pea pod, at least I can feed her. But, of course, the second I put her in her pea pod, she was wide awake again. So, oh dear, baby girl. So she's wide awake, so I probably am just going to pick her up in a minute and cuddle her to sleep. And then it's bedtime, isn't it, Pudding? Hey, yeah? She's coughing, but she's smiling in between every cough. Aren't you, Pudding? Hey, you gorgeous girly. Oh, what was that? What was that? I just spent a little bit of time while she was in a good position in the pew pod. Yeah, she's shouting at me. Just French plaiting her hair. Her hair's getting so long now, isn't it, Puds? You're just beautiful, aren't you? What are you doing? So I really hope you guys enjoyed spending the day with us, and I am really happy that I'm able to document Avery's nursery journey. So I guess today was the beginning, now that we've been to see it. So like I said, Josh will hopefully be coming to see it with us next week. I will definitely let you know how that goes. But anyway, I'm going to give this little lady some cuddles now and get her off to sleep. So make sure you are subscribed if you would like to follow us along on our journey. And I will see you all in a few days with another video. Bye guys.